Hi everyone, this is Tiffany with Raising House and Home. I just finished a video for you guys and I'll have that up shortly, but tonight I am going to make some Chinese chop suey. So I want to show you guys how I do that. It's one of our favorite meals and I learned it from my neighbor, and it was a Christmas Eve tradition that her dad started, that he made it, and it was like a family recipe, and she gave it to me, which was so nice of her, and we eat it all throughout the year, not just on Christmas Eve. But I wanted to share that with you, and I hope that you guys are healthy, safe, and well, and staying positive as much as you can. And yeah, so that's it. I hope you guys will like the video and get some ideas for what to make. I know it's kind of difficult. Everybody's having to make 3 meals a day because you're at home and you might not be used to that, and it's hard to come up with ideas, especially when you can't get the items that you want. So I hope that my videos are helpful in showing you guys different ways that you guys can cook things, and maybe you might find a new recipe that you really enjoy that will continue throughout your life with your children or your family. And so that's it. I'm gonna start cooking, and I will put this up soon. So thanks for watching, guys. We are browning up about 3 pounds of hamburger and a little bit of olive oil. And once this is all browned up, it doesn't have to be completely cooked through, but just, you know, kind of get that pink out of there. Then we are going to, excuse the mess, it's very messy over here. Then we're going to put in a whole stalk of celery that I've cut up, and I've done 2 onions. Now the recipe normally calls for about 3 pounds of onions. My family isn't big on onions, so I keep them nice and big so they can take them out if they don't like them. Same with the celery. I keep them really big so that the kids can take them out, and my husband can. He doesn't like things that are mushy. So you can slice them to however you guys like to have it. You can slice them really thin or leave them even bigger so you can take them out, but just get the flavor in the sauce. And we have our rice cooking. So I'm all foggy, but there. So the rice is cooking to go on top, and I have my bean sprouts ready to go in when the time is right. So I'm going to wait for this to continue to brown. Ignore the mess on the stove, it's not there. And I'm going to let this finish browning, and when it's done, we're going to put in the veggies. So I'm going to try to do this with one hand and not drop my phone in the pot. That would be interesting. So here we go. Now I use the leaves and everything. You don't have to, but it does add to the flavor. So we're going to let this simmer. And just get a spatula. So we're going to stir this all around. And it does take quite a while to soften these vegetables, especially because I have them so big. But I'm going to just let it sit here and simmer. And when they start to soften and reduce down, I will add our sauce ingredients, which is soy sauce and molasses. And most of it is just to taste. I don't really measure anything. And I don't have that much molasses right now, but of course with the pandemic, you just have to use what you have. So I'm going to use some molasses and some brown sugar, which will, it mimics, you know, there's molasses in the brown sugar, so it'll work well. And then we're going to use our soy sauce and our bean sprouts. So I'm going to let these settle for just a little bit, and we'll be back. So you can see that, you can see a lot more of the burger and not so much of the vegetables, because they are cooked down and they are soft. So now we're going to put in a whole can of our bean sprouts, and I put in the liquid too. It's going to get steamy, guys, so hold on. There, and you stir it in, and the liquid gives it a lot of salt. Let's see if I can get this steam to stop. All right, there we go. It gives it a lot of salt, so you don't need to add salt. And then the soy sauce is also full of sodium, so you don't have to put any in that. So we're going to mix this up, and it gives it a nice little bit of liquid to cook in and finish. making these veggies nice and tender. So we'll cook this for about 5 minutes, and then I'll start with the sauce ingredients. And over here again, ignore the mess, pretend it's not there. The rice is done, and just waiting for the sauce to get done. We're going to start putting the sauce ingredients in, and I'm going to try to do it with one hand and not drop my phone. So I just have these molasses, and I'll show you. There's about a quarter of a cup, maybe half a, well, I would say probably a half a cup in there. And I usually put more in, but this is all we have, so we're going to just make do with what we have. And I don't really measure when I make this. It definitely is to taste for us. It's going to take a few minutes because molasses, you know, you've heard it, slow as molasses. So it's going to come out a little slow, and I'll probably edit some of it out. Alright. So then, cover back on. I'm going to turn this upside down, the molasses upside down, to let the rest of it come out. And again, sorry guys, you're going to see my finger, talking finger. Okay. Now we have our soy sauce, and I'm not measuring. I probably use about half a cup of that as well, because there's a lot of sauce that needs to be made for this beef. I'll show you guys how much I used so far. This was a brand new bottle, and we're down to about there. And I may put more in as I taste it and see if we need more. We like it to be really saucy. That way we have sauce to go over the rice. Alright. It's getting dark in here, so you guys are not going to see it as well. But that's quite a bit of sauce, so we'll just monitor it and see what happens as it cooks down some more. So as you can see, it's getting darker because it's getting later, but this is ready to serve. And I used about half a bottle of soy sauce. This is a 15-ounce bottle. And I did end up putting, excuse me, about maybe 3/4 of a cup to an extra cup of brown sugar because we didn't have the molasses. And it still could use a little bit more molasses for my liking, but again, taste a little bit, and if you think it needs to be a little bit sweeter, put in a little bit of brown sugar or molasses. If you think it needs a little bit more of the saltier flavor and it's too sweet, then put in some more soy sauce. So I'm going to get this served up. We're going to pour it over rice, and we're going to get everybody fed. Back in the sunroom. It's getting dark, unfortunately. So thank you guys for watching. Please click subscribe below if you haven't already, and also click the notification bell. When I put up new videos, you'll be notified. So thank you guys very much. I will talk to you soon.